Interlinked Hot 6 anti-Trump lock him up shirt with social media. Obama was able to become very much the candidate of the guide the users. But it needs an active internet connection to play the videos. As this app has a lot of images, it is a bit bulky and I think the UI needs some rework regarding the look. However, iCircuit Training is a great app for users who want to do workouts from the luxury of their home. And at zero cost. Goldman HD. Goldman HD is a. This app would look even great if it has a help section. Goldman HD is compatible with iPhone, iPod Touch, and iPad, and it requires iOS 3.2 or later. This app costs just 99 United States cents, and there is Hot 6 anti-Trump lock him up shirt, also a light version, available for free. App Store has seen the arrival of a lot of good apps in 2011. Let us hope for a more productive 2012. We checked over 4,000 apps last year. Among them, we hope these few apps could perform well in 2012. Our evaluation process is generally based on design and usability. If you think you too have found a great app, please let us know at Alpha Digits. Wish you all a happy new year. The conventional wisdom on museum memberships is that they are one-size-fits-many programs whose primary benefits are the free entrance to the museum and insider access to exhibition openings. Hot 6 anti-Trump lock him up shirt, ladies tee, long-sleeved, sweater and hoodie. Hot 6 anti-Trump lock him up ladies tee. Ladies tee. The main audiences for memberships are value members, who think of it as a good deal, lifelong learners, who want to come to as many programs and exhibits as possible, and donors, who support the museum. But what about all the other people who love your museum? What about the families who show up on your free days religiously, or the ones blogging about your Hot 6 anti-Trump lock him up shirt new artifacts? Could you create a membership that speaks specifically to them? This week, an interview with Brooklyn Museum 1 Street Fans managers Will Carey, membership, and Shelley Bernstein, technology, and artist and Shao. 1 Street Fans is a new kind of membership launched on January 3, 2009, that combines in-person meetups, private groups on Facebook and Flickr, and a private Twitter feed featuring work by original artists. For more background, check out Will and Shelley's blog posts and videos. It has gotten a lot of attention as a social media membership, but Will and Shelley are adamant that 1 Street Fans is not about social media. Video conferencing has also significantly contributed to the field of healthcare. Video conferencing has Hot 6 anti-Trump lock him up shirt made telemedicine and telenursing a reality. It has also made it possible to optimally use healthcare funds in rural areas. Through the use of video conferencing technologies, it is now possible for doctors to communicate and discuss cases with each other. Business, however, is the area that has been radically impacted by video conferencing technologies. Hot 6 anti-Trump lock him up long-sleeved. Long-sleeved. With the globalization of businesses and their top brass spread all over the world, it has become more and more difficult to synchronize the workflow in companies, thanks to video conferencing. However, now these businesses are able to function in a smooth manner, and especially their sales departments, whose personnel are always on the go, as they are now Hot 6 anti-Trump lock him up shirt able to telecommute to work. Video conferencing has made the process of communications both economical and effective for people and businesses around the world. In response to this crisis, the Obama administration moved to modify the INA to remove restrictions that were preventing Syrian refugees from obtaining asylum in the U.S. President Barack Obama's administration announced that it had eased some immigration rules to allow more of the millions of Syrians forced from their homes during the country's 3-year civil war to come to the United States. The rules changes granted exemptions on a case-by-case basis to the Material Support Bar in U.S. Federal Register signed by Secretary of State John Kerry and Jeh Johnson, the Secretary of Homeland Security. Just how many Syrians might eventually end up in the U.S.? The U.S. hasn't yet set an upper limit on the number of Syrian refugees the country will admit, but the government is reportedly currently reviewing between 9,000 and hot 6 anti-Trump lock him up shirt 10,000 resettlement applications from Syrians. And the U.S. even so, applicants have to be screened by counter-terrorism agencies, the Pentagon and the Department of Homeland Security, in a process that is more selective than what is used for anyone else who wants to enter the United States. Hot 6 anti-Trump lock him up sweater. Ann C. Richard, Assistant Secretary of State for Population, Refugees, and Migration, said at a UN at the Geneva meeting, 28 countries agreed to take in 66,000 refugees. But that was hot 6 anti-Trump lock him up shirt far short of the 300,000 Syrians that officials at the UN, since the population of Syria is about 87% to 90% Muslim. It's likely that however many refugees from that country are eventually admitted to the U.S., a good many of them will be Muslim Christians, who form about 10% of the Syrian population, are essentially middlemen in this civil war, caught between Assad's army and the Sunni rebels. Under Assad, Christians had more rights than in many Middle Eastern countries. With the freedom to worship and run schools and churches, their rights were limited. However, the Syrian constitution says the president must be Muslim. For example, they were also offering distributors exclusive rights to sell the game in their territories. It seemed to work, at least at first, as the company landed 3 games on the Replays software charts. 36 game of 1982. The last was Heart Attack, aka Amazing, a maze game in which the goal was to hot 6 anti-Trump lock him up shirt fill the floor with dots, rather than eat them. One in Europe. The game was a multi-screen jumping game that cast the player in the role of Quasimodo in an attempt to rescue the beautiful Esmeralda. Other CVS games included Raiders, another vertical shooter, and Gold Bug Digger, a digging game. None of these games, however, matched the success of Hunchback, though Outline reportedly sold well. And Hot 6 anti-Trump lock him up hoodie. Century didn't last hot 6 anti-Trump lock him up shirt much longer. It's a video game series. While the games were well received, they were never produced, at least not by Century. The next week, on January 18, Century declared bankruptcy. Ironically, the previous month, Toonie had been pulled out of bankruptcy and taken over by EnterTech. CVS was not completely finished, however, at least not yet. On Thursday morning I got up around 6 am to shower and finish packing before heading off to the train. It was sunny and warm already in the morning. 3 hours later I arrive in Gothenburg and it's so cold, cloudy, and windy. After waiting around in the waiting hall for about 20 to 25 minutes, the train from Stockholm arrived. With Tony and his friends, we got going to shocked to change our tickets hot 6 anti-Trump lock him up shirt for wristbands and then went to have lunch. After lunch, we stocked up on cider and beer before finally going to the place where the bus would pick us up and take us to the camping area. Already at the bus stop, some of the guys put up their camping chairs and cracked open a can of beer and Tony got his block rocker playing. Arriving at the camping site, we put our tents up and after a while even the marquee. But it was freezing cold that evening. Google beat out rivals Microsoft, Yahoo, and AOL in launching an application that lets users retrieve Outlook email, text files, Microsoft Office documents, AOL IM logs and other products. Good Don't Act 7 Mum Mother shirt.